What's up, guys? It is early and I'm up, so I figure why not continue on this journey through the CD collection. We are still in the D section. We're still picking up, I guess, just right where we left off last time with the Demu board gear. First up, we have Death Cult Armageddon. Admittedly, this is probably the release from Demu that I've spent the least amount of time with. I don't know the reasoning behind that. I do enjoy this release for what it is. I just, for some reason or another, have not spent a ton of time with this one. So, next up, more Demu. This one is Abrahadabra. I actually really like this. I know this one kind of had mixed reviews. There were people that just kind of buried this when it came out, talked about how horrible it was. I mean, let's get to the. I mean, at this point, we know Demu, the old black metal stylings are gone. They've kind of gone that route of Cradle of Filth into extreme metal territory. But I enjoyed this one. Of course, it has this, the kind of cheesy fold out. Um, Digipack. Kind of went blank for words there, but the album itself I enjoyed. It's very accessible sounding music, but I liked it for what it was. So then we had the Demu Borgir and the Norwegian Radio Orchestra and Choir with Forces of the Northern Night. This is a 4 disc set. It is 2 CDs and 2 DVDs. I actually got this, I think, last year on Nuclear Blast. I guess not last year. It's January now, but not this past Black Friday, but the previous Black Friday, I think, is when I picked this up on Nuclear Blast. I got this very cheap, especially with it being a 4 disc set. Uh, it's got the music disc, and then it has the 2 DVDs showcasing the kind of concert. It's larger than life. They are able to create some soundscapes there with the actual orchestra and the choir doing the backing vocals. It's quite an experience. It's not something I pull off and listen to all the time, but if you have a good sound system, even on the DVDs, if you have like a good um, almost theatrical setup with your speakers and your television, it comes off just larger than life. The sound quality on this, especially with it being a live release, is quite good, and I do dig that one quite a bit as well. Then I think this is the newest release from Demu, entitled Eonian or Eonian. This is another one that was kind of polarizing for people when this came out. I did like it. It was not at the point that I liked the Abrahadabra release, but this one was good as well. I mean, I like all facets of Demo Borgir's discography. The earlier stuff, like Enthroned Darkness Triumphant, will probably always be my favorite release, but I do enjoy everything that they've done. I understand that bands evolve, and sometimes you like where that band has gone, and then sometimes you kind of long for where they were. I've kind of accepted where Demo Borgir has gone, and I do still enjoy their material, so that is a plus. Next up, I actually picked this one up at Walmart. I think every once in a while when I pass by the little, they just have all their CDs thrown in this bin for just a few dollars, and occasionally you can find something decent in there. This one was sitting on the top, and I didn't have it, so I figured I'd go ahead and jump on it. This is Dio with Holy Diver. I mean, just classic heavy metal. I don't have to tell you guys who Dio is. Well, I hope I don't anyway, especially if you're watching this video. But yeah, good stuff there. And then there, I have the tribute album they did shortly after his passing. This is the Ronnie James Dio. This is Your Life tribute. It has some pretty decent. It's kind of got like a who's who as far as heavy metal goes. You got uh, Doros on here, Anthrax. Uh, I don't know. It's got a lot of people on here. It's got Tenacious D. Funny thing is, I cannot stand Tenacious D at all. I don't like Jack Black. and Tenacious D is I can't stand them. So go ahead and hit that dislike button for me saying that. I know that there's some Tenacious D fans. I don't know what it is, but it's just something about Tenacious D just rubs me the wrong way. But back to the topic at hand here. Back on the CD collection, we have Dysplasia with a Squander. This is a depressive black metal, kind of black and doom project. This was their debut EP. I think this came out around 2017. Yeah, 2017. It's a 2-track EP demo. They have released some stuff after this. This came. I ordered something else, and this was thrown in the order as kind of a freebie. It's pretty good. The one of the guys behind this, Neil, he's got his hand in a lot of different projects. He does a lot of mixing and mastering for projects as well. Does a lot of core music, but this is a pretty solid little slab of black and doom, depressive black metal. Not bad at all. Next up, okay, disclaimer. When I was into this first album, I have 2 albums from this band, and when I picked this first one up, I was drinking heavily at the time, so I mean maybe that plays a role. This is Dirge Within with Force Fed Lies. This is kind of thrashy metalcore, has new metal nuances going on. I saw these guys live. I thought they were good live. I picked up the CD. I was into this for a little while, and now I listen to it, and I'm just it doesn't hold up to me. This came out back in 2009. I'm wanting to say I did enjoy them live. I think the band has split up since then. I think there was some kind of turmoil with the singer or something, and he was actually the one that I met after the show, and I don't know, maybe that was just a nostalgia feel, maybe it was just an inclusive feel because I thought he was a cool guy when I met him, but I I did enjoy that one. Um, their follow up to that was entitled "There Will Be Blood." This is also by Dirge Within. I was not drinking heavily when I heard this one, and I think I've listened to this album once, maybe twice, and it immediately went on the shelf and has kind of just collected dust there ever since. But just kind of new metalish, thrashy metalcore. I mean, if that's your thing, maybe you want to check them out. I don't know. Moving on, we have some Stoner Doom. This actually came to me through Metalhead Box, and I enjoyed this one quite a bit. This is a Dirt Woman with the Glass Cliff. This was a phenomenal release. This was released in 2021 through Sevared Records. I believe it originally came out in 2020, maybe, and Sevared reissued it in 2021. I think the band put it out themselves earlier than that, but it's a solid slab of female fronted stoner doom. I enjoy that one quite a bit. Next up, this one came out around the same time period as that first Dirge Within album, so keep that in mind. They were on the same label. This is Dirt Fed with the American Nightmare. This is more new metal. I think one of the guys from Slipknot discovered this band. If I remember correctly, I can't. I don't know. It's been a while, and the memories around that time period in life are a little bit fuzzy. But this is not something that I have not pulled this off the shelf in years. There are some memories, some albeit foggy memories tied up with this. I think that's kind of one of the reasons that it just kind of stays in the collection because I can look at it and just remember. So I mean, it's times in my life that I'm not proud of particularly, but there were some good times that happened during that period, and some of that is tied up within that release. Next up, we have some glam, I guess, out of Germany. It's glam with guys wearing corpse paint, if that makes any sense. This is Dirty Connections with We Are the Night EP. This band is since split up. This came out. I don't see the date. I'm thinking around 2019 is what my mind is wanting to tell me. They had a full length that came out before this, and this was a follow up EP. And then I think they've split up at some point afterwards. Just kind of uh, graveyard themed glam, sleazy glam. I don't know. It's fun. I mean, is it something I'm going to listen to every day? No, absolutely not. But for what it is, it's pretty fun. I don't know how well you can pick up those pictures on the back, but I mean, it's I don't know. I'm smiling just looking at it. So I mean, that's always a good sign if it can bring out some kind of feeling like that from you. Next up, this is kind of some symphonic ish black metal mixed with melodic death metal. This is Dysaria with their self-titled EP. This was released in 2007. Still has the MySpace link on the back, so that should tell you uh, kind of age this release for you. I picked this up from one of the members of the band way back. I was probably somewhere close to that time period. I haven't listened to this in ages. It's I don't I remember this being pretty good. I mean I didn't hate it, but it was just kind of there. It's always just kind of been there in my CD collection. But next up, this is a band that I did not know was from Tennessee until fairly recently. I saw them play a concert probably 2002. So, I mean, we're looking at 20 years ago. I can't remember who they opened for. I'm wanting to say it was Guar, but I could be wrong. I think I saw these guys in Soylent Green and someone else open for Guar. If it wasn't Guar, it was Typo Negative, but I'm thinking I saw them open for Guar. I did not pick the CD up then. This CD had just came out at that time period. Um, I saw this used later, and I remembered that show, and I went ahead and picked it up. And then it was after that that I actually realized that they were from not just too terribly far from here. The band that I'm speaking of is Disarray, and the name of this album is "In the Face of the Enemy." This is southern thrash, kind of Pantera worship. It's kind of like a mix of Pantera and Metallica. So I'm sure some of you will kind of turn your nose up at that. It's not bad. I mean, it's not the best album I've ever heard, but it's kind of neat knowing that they're from not too far from here. I get it with the kind of uh, southern thrash kind of sound going on this. It kind of feels something like you would hear from somewhere close to this area. But there you go. That's Disarray with "In the Face of the Enemy." Next up, we have some brutal death. I haven't talked about the Severed Records grab bag, that huge undertaking video. I haven't got to talk about that one in a couple videos, so here we go again. I'll link it up in the description. If you missed out on that one, probably not. I think it's probably the most viewed video on this channel so far. At least it has the most watch time. It's like an hour-long video, but there were 100 CDs that I had to go through in that grab bag. This one was definitely in that. This is Disastrous with Aftermath of the Apocalypse. I believe this band is out of the Philippines. Imagine that. I don't know if you guys are aware. There are a ton of brutal death metal bands out of the Philippines. Brutal death, death grind, death metal, Philippines, Indonesia. There are tons of bands, and this one is one of those. This is pretty good. I enjoyed it. After a while, obviously listening to when you have 100 CDs in a grab bag like that to go through, there's going to be stuff that kind of starts to blend in and sound the same. This one kind of fell into that. I do remember liking it. I did keep it. Obviously, it's still in the collection, but you know, I will link that grab bag up in the description just in case, by some chance, you have not seen that video. Just going to warn you, you're in for a long haul on that. It may be a difficult watch just because it is so long and there's so much stuff to go through, and you got this buffoon unboxing it and going through the thing. So next up, we have some kind of technical thrash, kind of that aggressive style of technical thrash that kind of blurs into the death metal realm. This is Discord with Casualties of War. I'm trying to remember where this band comes from. I'm thinking maybe Canada, if if memory serves me correct. I actually really like this. This came out, I think, around 2011, but it's just this blistering, in your face, deathy thrash metal release. And I don't, it even came out at a time period where I was not really big on thrash metal, but this is one that kind of stuck with me, and I dig this one quite a bit. So that is Discord with Casualties of War. I definitely recommend checking that one out if you've never heard it. Next up, this is a brutal death metal band out of New York. Actually won this in a giveaway on Facebook. It's been years ago now, but uh, I'm still friends with the guy that I won this from. This is Disciples of Berkowitz with Back from the Dead compilation. This one came out, I think, in 2002. Um, it has it's chronicles 1995 through 2002. Kind of highlights the releases from this band. They didn't have a ton of material. They had some EP and demo work leading up to this. They re-released one of these, I think, in 2007, and added some more material to the kind of compilation as well. But this one is good. I do enjoy this. I like this style of brutal death, kind of chunky, um, gurgly sound of brutal death that they have going on in this. But it is a good release. So it's Disciples of Berkowitz. Next up, we have some more brutal death. This is a band out of Chile. I got this in I think one of the Metallic Media mystery boxes that I used to do quite often. I miss Metallic Media; they are no more, but I do miss those mystery boxes. I got some really obscure stuff in there, and I got some stuff in those mystery boxes that I really liked, and I probably would have never heard otherwise. This one is just brutal death, kind of run of the mill brutal death. This is a Discreate with contingent development of inanimate modifications. I mean, it's not bad. It's definitely not reinventing the wheel. It's a pretty short little, I think, 4-track EP. But if you're in the mood for some brutal death, I mean, it will feel that kind of that it'll scratch that itch for you, I guess. But I mean, don't expect to find just something groundbreaking on this. But for what it is, it's not bad. Next up, we have Disembowelments with Active Invocation. I forget where this band actually comes is hailing from. This is from Iron Bonehead Productions. I picked this up from one of my favorite eBay sellers, the Jagger Jones. I know you've seen me uh, feature his eBay auctions and store on this channel quite often. This is one of the pickups that I did from Jagger Jones, and I can't remember where this band actually comes from. I think it's somewhere here in the States, but I could be wrong. It's just kind of slipped my brain. But this is a pretty strong little EP. I think this was actually their debut EP. They have some other material that's come out since this, and I have not picked it up. It kind of leans into is like some black and almost occult vibes going on in that style of death metal, but it's pretty good. Next up, a fantastic release. This is a band out of Australia. This is Disembowelments, and this is the compilation that Relapse Records put out. It has their one full-length, Transcendence into the Peripheral is the first disc. This is a 2-disc set. That full-length, it's unfortunately their only full-length, but it is just old school death metal, kind of that death doomy death metal, I guess. Not death doom, just that kind of doomy sounding death metal. There's the second disc. Not a whole lot going on the disc artwork, but the sound that's so popular going on right now. This band was fantastic at it when they were doing this. This also has their Dusk demo, and has the Morning September demo, their debut demo on this. Fantastic release. I enjoy the demo work in the little second disc compilation, and I love that full length. That full length that they put out was just absolutely amazing. Definitely an underrated band right here in Disembowelment. Next up, I have some kind of mixed feelings about this just because of the process that I had to go through to purchase this. I won't get into that too much. It's kind of been rectified now with No Slip Records, but it did leave a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. This is Disenchanter with their Back to Earth demo, and it also has the on on through portals EP attached to this as well. The Back to Earth demo, I think, was their debut, and then the On Through Portals was one of their latest, if not their most recent EP. It kind of bookends their material. Pretty good stoner doom. A little bit of everything, I guess, in this collection update. Not collection update, in this CD portion of the CD collection. But yeah, there's Disenchanter. I like the artwork on the, not the artwork, but just the scheme there going on the actual disc. It almost has that vinyl record look going on that. So, but yeah, there's Disenchanter. Next up, this one came as a freebie with a Corpse Gristle purchase. I think this was thrown in with the Skinless Demos CD that I purchased, but I'm not sure. I have purchased a few things through Corpse Gristle, and they threw this one in there. It's just this little slip case, but they dug up this old demo from Disencumbrance. Disencumbrance was a death metal band out of Texas. They were Christian death metal. I think that's why this was overlooked. This release came out, I think, in 1995, and this is one of the better freebies that I've ever gotten. This is Disencumbrance with the Betrayal, and this is just some nasty death metal. Yes, it's Christian themed, but don't let that don't let that deter you from checking this out. This sounds like some of the stuff that you would find on Ken's Death Metal Crypt in the early days when he was not on the channel himself and he was just uploading demos and that type stuff. This is the kind of stuff that was drawing people to that channel, and this is an amazing little release. I'm so glad that Corpse Gristle threw this in for me and introduced me to this, and I am thankful for that freebie for sure. Next up, this is I don't know where this band is from. Czechia, the Czech Republic, I guess former Czech Republic. This is Disfigured Corpse with Mega Ultra Intergalactic Core 2000. So this one actually did come out in 2000. It's kind of death metal, brutal death metal, death grind, very run of the mill. It's not the best thing that I've heard ever. Um, it is a used copy. The CD case has seen better days, but it is still intact, so I'm not changing it out, especially with something like this that I don't just pull off the shelf. I mean, occasionally this may get a pull and a listen, but it has definitely been a while. So not bad, but just not something that I'm going to lean to all the time to listen to. Next up, another release that came out of that Severed Records 100 CD grab bag. This one's actually pretty good. This is Disfigured Dead with Relentless. This is some death metal. I think this band is obviously this is some death metal. I think this band was another one that was I think somewhere here in the U.S. Part of me wants to say Portland, and part of me wants to say Texas, and I'm probably wrong on both of those. It's probably Chicago or something. But Disfigured Dead with Relentless. This was their latest and possibly last full length. I'm not sure if this band is still together or not. They had a previous full length that came out before this, and it was actually pretty good as well. I was hoping maybe it had where this was recorded in here, so it maybe give me an idea of where this band was from. It says in Watchman Studios, but I don't know where that is either. So I don't know. I'll have to look it up, I guess, after the video to see where these guys come from. But I did enjoy this one. This has that just kind of feel of death metal that I like. Not over the top brutal. I do like brutal death metal. Don't get me wrong, but it was just something about this release that kind of just grabbed me and made me keep returning to it. It's just kind of violent, horror themed, violent themed death metal. So next up, we have some more brutal death. This is some slamming brutal death metal. This is Disfigurement of Flesh with Herbarium with Grotesque Necrotic Malformations. This is Slamming Brutal Death out of Russia. I purchased this in, I think, either I won this in a giveaway or purchased this in a Facebook group. Um, it's been quite a while ago now. It was in the Metal and Core Collectors group on Facebook. A lot. It was There was a time period, probably 6, 7 years ago, where uh, Slam and slamming brutal death metal was huge in that group, and I won this then. It's probably my favorite full length from this band. So if I was going to have uh, something from Disfigurement of Flesh in my collection, I'm glad it was this release because I've heard some of their other material, but this is the one that I really do enjoy. This one came out in 2014, and it's just some just gnarly, nasty, slamming brutal death. Next up, we have, unfortunately, this is the only album that I own from this band. This is Disgorge with Consume the Forsaken, and I don't have to tell you guys too much about this one. You know what to expect from Disgorge. I wish I had some more of their material. If I'm gonna have to, if I only own one of their releases, I'm glad it's this one. But I do want to pick up some more of their material for sure. Just killer, brutal death out of California. I almost went blank. For some reason, I'm wanting to say everything Chicago. I don't know why. Next up, we have a split. Neither one of these bands fit into this section of the alphabetation, whatever, of the alphabet. But the name of the split, that's why I kind of shelved it here. This is a Disgorging Putrid Chapter. This features Goremonger and Minstrel Disconsumed on this. Just brutal death. This one's kind of run of the mill. This was released by Force Fed. I don't remember exactly where I got this one. I may have gotten it from Force Fed when I did an order for some merch and stuff there. So I don't remember. It's just, I mean, it's brutal death, obviously, but it's not something that I just return to a whole lot. And then we're going to finish this one up with some death metal out of Kansas City, Missouri. This is Disinterment with Graveyard Fornication. This one's fun. I purchased this on eBay based on that artwork. It made me want to go and kind of reintroduce myself to Disinterment. I need to pick up some more of their material because I do like this one quite a bit. Some people kind of see this kind of middle of the road death metal, but I don't know what it is about this one either, but it just kind of stuck out to me. But I dig this one quite a bit. So that's it for this one. I was a bit long-winded in this one. I apologize, but it happens sometimes. That's all I got for today. I'll see you guys soon, and we'll continue marching on through.